Hello, good morning and welcome to the sports segment here on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7 with me, Owuraku Ampofo. We continue to bring you updates on the African Games, and that would be one of our major focus this morning as we bring you the latest from the table tennis, which has been ongoing for a while now ahead of the opening ceremony on Friday. And then we would also take you to the camp of Ghana's swimming team as they gear to fight for some medals when the swimming events start this weekend. We would also be previewing some Europa League games and then reviewing the UEFA Champions League. Two more teams make it to the quarterfinal stage of the competition. We're bringing you all of this and more in the next 10 minutes. Now we start off with some table tennis and focus on Team Ghana because after a rather disappointing campaign by the singles, which saw none of the Ghanaian players make it past the round of 16, the team performance from the Ghana Loopers did ensure that they did inspire some hope as both the men and women's team made it to the knockout round of the competition. My colleague Billy Shen was at the Accra International Conference Center and found this report.
It was a rocky start for Team Ghana in the team tennis event organized at the Accra International Conference Center on Wednesday. The Team Ghana's men's team actually lost by 3 straight games to Madagascar in their first Group 5 match. And they needed a very big performance against Sudan to ensure qualification to the knockout round. And they managed to do it thanks to big performances from Emmanuel Kome and captain Bernard Sam, ensuring that they won by 3 games to 0. In the women's team, in the women's division, they offered a very brilliant performance, coming back from 2 games down to ensure that they qualify to the quarterfinals of the women's team event by winning by 3 games to 2. Celia Danso delivered the killer blow in that game. The head of Ghana's Table Tennis Federation, Owuraku Ampofo, noted that Ghana deserves a much bigger investment to help the team to achieve greater things in the future, but was happy with the results.
We have beautiful dreams, we have excellent material, the prospects are here. We just have to do what it takes to create champions that will give our country a lot of joy and a lot of pride. Without Juanita winning her game, we were going to lose 3-0. She won a game, it became 2-1, and he then provided the platform for the senior players to come back and lead the recovery.
Emmanuel Kome, who is a member of the Black Loopers, stated that Ghana have the potential to actually claim a medal in the table tennis event.
Yeah, definitely Ghana is going to bring first gold medal for table tennis because now we are going all out, and we know because we are the host nation, we have fans, we have supporters, which we think is going to help us. So we are sure that Ghana is going to bring out for the same event, definitely.
The men and women's teams for Ghana have very tough tasks ahead in the knockout stages, but are hopeful of weaving some magic. Billy Shen for 3 Sports from the Accra International Conference Center.
Well, just by way of update, after this report was filed late in the night on Wednesday, that was a holiday on 6th March, Ghana's men's team went on to face Tunisia in the knockout round and unfortunately lost. And so Ghana's men's team are out of the African Games table tennis competition. But from table tennis, let's head straight to swimming because that is yet to begin. And the swimmers who are going to represent Ghana are rather hopeful that they can raise the flag of the country high. My colleague Yawo Fosulabi visited the Boteman Sports Complex to catch up with the team during their training session.
Thursday morning, Ghana's swim team began training in the pool under the watchful eye of Russian coach Pavel Kutashev.
Not without problems, nothing goes perfectly, but right now we are making our final brushes to the preparation, as it's called in our sports, tapering. So just like light training to recover from all the work that we did before, and I would say that we're pretty ready.
Ghana's swim team captain Abeku Jackson is the country's most experienced swimmer. He made his debut at an international meet with Team Ghana at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow in 2014. Since then, he has swum at 2 Olympic Games, 4 World Championships, 2 African Swimming Championships, and 1 African Games in 2019. He got so close to the podium at the last edition of the African Games, but with the Games in Ghana, Abeku admits that the pressure is building up.
Every athlete, every Ghanaian athlete's dream to get on the podium. Of course, it's my target also to get on the podium. For us here, we are lucky to host it in Ghana because we have family and friends. We have support. We have the support of the Ghanaians. So, of course, it's our dream to get on the podium. It's our dream to raise the country's flag high, to listen to the national anthem being played for us, and to give our best to the country.
Nubi J has been one of the most impressive swimmers for the country in the last few years. She says the African Games gives her the opportunity to do better.
I'm hopeful, I'm excited to see what I can do, see how the team performs, and just really put our best out there. So I'm happy, I'm excited to be here. As you know, any host country, you would want to do the best that you can, come out on top and everything. So yeah, I guess everyone has that kind of pressure, but we're just going to go in, do our absolute best, and as long as we know we've done our best, that's all we can do.
Every athlete's first ever tournament is always a huge one. Joselle Mensah will be making her debut at the African Games for Ghana since she decided to swim for the country after the pandemic. For Mensah, all of this feels unbelievable.
So my decision is basically informed already on the reputation that the team has. They have really good teams, really good coaches. And for me now, it was a good time to finally join the team and be able to align it with my education too.
The swimming schedule at the African Games begins on Saturday, March 9 at the Bortiman Aquatic Center.
So that was my colleague Yao Fusulabi bringing us all that we need to know concerning the Ghana swim team as the African Games starts to get into full gear. A reminder that the opening ceremony will take place at the University of Ghana Stadium on Friday to officially commemorate the games, which would be going on for the next 2 weeks. But from the swim team of Ghana, let's do some football, but still with the African Games, because Senegal are getting ready to face South Sudan in their opening game of the men's under-20 tournament at the African Games. That we'll be hearing from the head coach of Senegal, that's Saliou Dia, who led the country to a gold medal at the 2015 Games. And he also admits that the young Lions of Teranga currently lack experience, and the team is mostly made up of new players.
It's football now, but first is new team. It's new under all maybe 8 players, 9 players. They are champion in under 17. Now we are building a new team. We just bring here to us to try to build a team. That's the important first stage is to build a team. Before now is we try to have the mix between the under 17 world champion and the player who play in Senegal. Now this tournament is a way for us to build this team to be ready for the next competition also. You don't think about win. Important just to play, to do what you have to do. And if you do what you have to do, you can win easy. But important for them is to focus for what they are learning, to fight, to take pleasure to play, to make intention on the game. I think if you play this way, we can win. But first is to take pleasure to play, is to push them to got a lot of experience on this tournament.
Well, so that was head coach of Senegal's under-20 team, Saliou Dia. Ghana would be also having their final training session later today. We'll be giving you all the news that you need to know concerning the Black Satellite as they also get ready for the men's football, which will be taking place at the Accra Sports Stadium. But from football, let's move to NFL, where Super Bowl winning back Eko Boydoi says that he sees Ghanaians in future moving towards the National Football League, that is the NFL. He said this after his arrival in Ghana, after helping the Kansas City Chiefs win the Super Bowl 25-22 against the San Francisco 49ers. And now the 24-year-old former Kansas State University player grew up in Ghana and moved to the United States of America when he was 3 years, and is set to engage in youth-focused programs during his visit to inspire the next generation of leaders.
The Ghanaian, who plays as a cornerback for the 2024 Super Bowl champions, had to battle several setbacks in his quest to the top. Like every African home, his parents put education first and furrowed their brows over his decision to play football. On the day he became a champion, it was his family that cheered him on the most.
I mean, I feel like it was even before that, just showing them that I'm taking this seriously and I actually want this to be my career, and just starting in college, just getting a scholarship, a full ride scholarship, getting my school paid for, I think that was the first step. So.
In the next few days, he will tour Ghana with his family and try to inspire kids who were just like him when he left the country in his early years. To him, it is an opportunity to teach the kids to never give up and to do whatever it takes to get to the top.
My dad has it all planned, but I know that I'll be talking to some younger kids, you know, kind of trying to give them a message, tell them about my career and all the ups and downs of that. And then I also have a few other things planned to talk to the younger kids and hopefully inspire them.
Echo's Super Bowl win has inspired, and his tour and interactions will inspire a lot more. The young man has shown that with resilience and determination, dreams can be real.
And so that was Ekoi Boydo and his inspiring story. He's back in Ghana where it all began. We'll be following his journey as well. But let's head to Europe, because there was some Champions League action on Wednesday as Pep Guardiola's Man City just trumped past Copenhagen 6-2 in aggregate after winning 3-1 at home. Manoa Kanji scored for the citizens in the 5th minute before Julian Alvarez doubled the lead just 4 minutes later, despite El Younisi grabbing what became a consolation goal. Erling Haaland made it 3-1 in the first half of the game to ensure that Man City reached the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League for a 6th consecutive season. In the other game, Real Madrid had to do it in a more difficult way as they drew 1-1 with Leipzig, only qualifying on aggregates by 2-1 thanks to their 1-0 win in Germany. Vinicius Jr. Put the Los Blancos in a lead in the second half in the 65th minute before Willy Orban pulled parity in the game just a few minutes after that. The game ended 1-1, a result that means that Real Madrid would also be in the quarterfinals of the competition. What this means is that we now know 4 of the 8 quarterfinalists in this season's Champions League. There will be Bayern Munich, there will be Manchester City, there will be Real Madrid, and then there would also be Paris Saint-Germain. The other 8 would be discovered next week when we do have the final cohort of the round of 16 games being played. Well, there's some Europa League action later today as Sparta Prague would be hosting Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, who are well on course to achieve a quadruple after winning the Carabao Cup earlier this season. Now, Jurgen Klopp has been speaking ahead of this game and has outlaid what the Reds have to ensure that they do in this game.
Sparta now, and it was an interesting and intense week for them as well. It was 2 games against Slavia. It's obviously a pretty special week. One game, the cup game, they won. The other game, they kept the distance in the table. So with a draw, that's obviously very helpful. Since the managers in, obviously things turned around, which you can see in becoming champion after such a long time. You can see that in the confidence the team is playing with, clear idea. very intense. But our idea is always a little bit like that, and I don't want to call it misunderstood, but they never played us. So as good as they are good, and we will see how it will work out. How Maka said, we expect a really tough game, but that means we expect from ourselves that we play a top game, and if we can do that, it's not a joy to play against us. So that's what we hope. But Sparta is obviously in a very good moment, and I think everybody who is with Sparta would say that exactly the same. Then Patrick and Vladimir are two absolute Liverpool legends. They love still being around. I've always...
Also, that was Jurgen Klopp. Let's now hear from Liverpool midfielder McAllister, who also expects a tough outing later tonight.
Very tough game. We know that they are unbeaten at home, top of the league. And that tells you that they are a very good team. Of course, we saw some videos and we know what they do. But we need to focus on ourselves. I think if we focus on ourselves, we have the chance to win this game, and that's what we want. But they are definitely a very good team, and it will be a great battle.
Now, lastly, before we go, during the Champions League, it was reviewed earlier this week that Kylian Mbappe did reach a top speed of around 10.58 seconds when it comes to completing a 100-meter course. And now that meant that, putting it in context, would see Kylian Mbappe 1 second behind Usain Bolt in his record-breaking run at the Olympics, that he set that record of 9.58. Now, it's generated a lot of conversation, but my colleague Yao Fusulabi believes that 1 second is a lot of time, especially when it comes to athletics.
I think it's ridiculous for anybody to think that that Mbappe run against Real Sociedad is anywhere close to Usain Bolt's record of 9.58, which he said some years ago. It's ridiculous because when you check the world rankings and the number of times, even if we are using the last 2 years over that period as our sample space to measure how fast athletes have run, it will take Mbappe over 5,000 100-meter runners before he actually shows up on the list of times that have been fast in the last 2 years. So I think that on face value, when you just look at it and say, Mbappe is only 1 second and 32 milliseconds off Bolt's record, and so he's really fast, it doesn't actually give you the exact picture of what it is, because in athletics every millisecond counts. There's a reason why there are athletes who win a race with just 1 millisecond. Someone crosses the finish line at 9.99, someone who crosses the finish line at 10.00, and the one who finishes 9.99 wins. So the time really counts, and Mbappe's 1 second is still well off Bolt's record. I mean, under normal circumstances, 1 second it comes by so fast, but in athletics it means way more. And so
also, that was Yao Ofusulabi there speaking on how far Mbappe just is off Usain Bolt's record, just to add some more context to that. That's how we'll be wrapping up the sports segment here on Sunrise. You can get some more African Games updates on our social media handles at 3SportsGH. My name is Owuraku Ampofo, and Sunrise continues right after this.